Okay, here is take two of the fence gate hinge pin video. I come up with a different idea, or two actually, versus the original here. I was surprised how much views this actually got. Not used to that, but a lot of people seem to find it interesting, and I'll go over some of all this after the rest of the video. So I come up, a fella in the comments asked me about making one for him, and unfortunately I had to tell him that, you know, something like this has to be, you know, made kind of to fit. I mean, you don't want it too sloppy. It's going to be banging around and whatnot. So not all pins are created equal. I know I just happen to have all the same brand. So I kept thinking about that, and I thought, well, what can I come up with that's a little bit more universal? So I had that's a 3/8 eye bolt with it's threaded, like you put a nut it onto something, and you could probably use this type, but just 3/8, so it's somewhat thick, and I welded it up deep for sturdiness. I'll cover that more. But anyhow, I wanted to show you the different ones I come up with. I'll show them to you in use. And my Frankenstein one here. So I got two different types, two different takes on it, and we'll see how she goes. Okay, let me demonstrate this one. There's a 3/8 inch eye bolt. It's a regular threaded. It's not that type, but I suppose you probably could use that type. 3/8 inch eye bolt, and I welded into a 3/8 socket, which is 3/8 drive. 3/8 all the way around. So in this case, I'm using my Milwaukee 3/8 set on the middle speed. And you just got to kind of take off easy. Don't, you know, if you go too fast, she's going to wobble around. But let's just see. I think it works pretty well for what it is. It's simple. It's universal because a different pin that could be a little bit bigger, smaller, it's still going to work. That's why you don't want to go too fast. Let the tool do the work. We'll go to the highest setting. Oh, and she is in there, and I would not, in my old age, want to have to try to run that out after it's been in there 20 years. So we'll go ahead and take her out, start off full speed. Again, once it starts hammering, it slows down, and it is pretty easy to stay on. You get going too fast with this type versus this. This stays on pretty good, and I want to talk more about this and the bad points about it here in a minute. But I got one more to show you after this. Again, you get going too fast, you might walk off. So just slow down, let the tool do the work. It's a lot better than sticking an open end on there or a pipe wrench, let me tell you, and a lot faster. Okay. I got one more to show you here. I got a Frankenstein version. And it actually works pretty damn well. The only thing, I think that's maybe, there's all 3/8 drive, which doesn't really matter. Maybe on the main one. These two wouldn't matter. And the reason I use these sockets, again, I had a whole bunch of these duplicates, triplicates that I'll never use. So I think that's well, of course I welded over it. I think it's around 11/16. I don't know. I don't think it's 3/4. But you want to keep it centered as much as you can, like this. I don't know how, you wouldn't want to go maybe too small. But these are just a 1/2 inch and maybe a 11 millimeter. I don't know, whatever it had. Now, this I had to tweak it a little bit by belt sanding the insides here. They're a little bit flat so that it would work that way, but I got one of these just a little bit crooked and it wouldn't go in like this. But it would go like this. And I thought, well, I'll go ahead and just tweak it. And if you make something like this, that's probably what you're going to maybe have to do. I had a hell of a time holding that. A lot of people, when they do something like this, they'll use zip ties to hold it. And they're, of course, going to melt. But once you get your tack on there, I didn't do that. I just did it the impatient way. So let's try this one. I actually think it works pretty damn good, and it's really stout. It doesn't have a tendency to want to walk off. Full speed. Okay. So again, I like this one very well. Pain in the ass to build, but if you're prone to tinkering like I am, I just wanted to see if I could do it. And I'll maybe talk a little bit about this here real quick. Hang on. Okay. So again, this is my original here. I just wanted to see if I could do it. Yeah, I don't think it would hold up long term. It's just too weak right here. It has, during testing, I probably run it through 10, 12 times just playing around. But if you did it, and it was your job to put in 10, 20 of these things a day, these pins, I don't know if it'd hold up that good. I would advise using for two reasons. I'd use a impact socket, and because the chrome ones, for one, I think it'd hold up better because the chrome, they're harder. This could shatter, break instead of just bending. I don't know. I haven't tortured it enough to find out. I've only got 2 more pins to ever take off, if I even do it. They're way up on the hill. Used to have horses, don't have them anymore. I took all the gates off so I could get in and out of the field a little bit better. But this could be reinforced, I suppose. Kind of a tight place to weld, but could be done. But it's neat, it works very well, and it stays on there good. It works well, except you get going too fast, wants to walk off. Again, I didn't want the shaft showing too much. I tried to get it all the way in there and weld right up to here, because this will help part of the strength. It won't have a tendency to maybe shear off on the threaded part. But it did work. I misstated on when I was using this about using a box end. I stated open end, box end wrench, or combination wrench, using a box end to grab on here for leverage. And of course, the good old tried and true pipe wrench works too, but you know, if I had a bunch of these I don't want to mess with all that. If you're 25 and fit, and like working hard, hey, go for it. But I'm too old for that. So this one, I had this in the toolbox, and I'll be damned if it didn't work. This originally, I think I had target stand, and I would screw these up in there to hang targets off of. It's just a 3/8 drive. Put it on there and run them up in there, but a little easier once you get them started. That actually where I didn't show it, but this is 5/16, and it might not want to walk off because it's a little bit tighter on there, and it's probably still would fit a wide range. So either or. Now this Frankenstein version, it works really good. You could probably use a piece of pipe. You'd have to get your drive socket or any way you could get to running the impact, weld it onto a piece of pipe. And of course, they don't have to be sockets. They are, styled, and these ain't going to shatter. But this one, it could be made differently. Instead of this, you could use, something like that. So you're not, just because I use this don't mean you have to. Honestly, they're pretty hard material, and they're gonna last pretty good, I would think. Again, I had to do a little bit of tweaking, and it is hard material. I run into the belt sander, both sides here, and flatten it up a little bit to make it fit. Because my tendency was to go straight on like this. And I couldn't do it because I got those a little bit cockeyed. So now I can go straight on, or I used to have to come down on it. But if I went here, it wouldn't go. But now it does. So if you make something like this, however you make it, you may have to tweak it. I would start off, I'd rather start off where it's pretty darn tight on there, and then try to fit it, because you don't want a whole lot of slop banging around. I don't think that's too much wasted energy. But this one worked really darn good. I thought it worked a lot better than I thought it would. She got a face only a mother could love. Okay, I hope you found it interesting and helpful, and we'll see you next time.